Hello friend, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Josh. Today is something I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and that is bed liner spray my Tuff Stuff Overland Alpha 2 rooftop tent. Now, if you're asking yourself, why am I going to bed liner spray my rooftop tent? And that is because it is a hard shell rooftop tent. So here in Arizona, our temperatures exceed well over 120, especially right here by the river where I live. So doing so is gonna help protect the shell from the elements. And of course, you know, when you're going down roads and there's bushes, trees, etc., that's the whole main reason why I'm doing this. So the things that you're gonna need to do this entire project is, I'll leave a link in the video description below on where I purchased the Raptor liner. I highly recommend getting the 2K version of whatever Raptor liner that you're gonna use and stick with Raptor liner. Now there is Hercules and there's a couple other brands out there, but from what I've seen, Raptor liner definitely has the best product when it comes to bed liner spraying. And the 2K product versus the 1K just has more protectant as far as UV ratings and stuff like that, so stick with the 2K. What I'm using is an orbital sander with 220 grit, and all I'm gonna do, as you can see, I've kind of already started, is just pull off the clear coat so that when I go through with the promoter, I'm just gonna spray that on top of that and the Raptor liner straight over that. So step one in this entire process is you wanna make sure that you wash down your rooftop tent with soap and water. Step two in this process is gonna be removing any stickers that's on your rooftop tent. So for me, there was the Alpha logo all over this rooftop tent. So I went ahead and removed those and then took a razor knife after it was still wet from washing it and just went ahead and scraped all the glue off and then dried it, and then I was ready to start sanding. Step three in this process is when you finally get out your sander and you start sanding. Now as I'm going through this, I'm lightly putting pressure on the sander enough where I'm able to just pull this clear coat out and see it, and I'm not going in any deeper than that. Now there are some spots where it kind of went a little deeper, which is totally okay, but just don't go any deeper than barely scuffing this. Then you risk damaging the actual hard shell, the rooftop tent. So I've done the entire, all the way around on the top lid, and just went through and hand sanded it with 1000 grade. So just to give you guys an idea, that's kind of how it looks. Then you're gonna take a microfiber and you're gonna go over everything, take off all the dust. Now there'll be some spots going over it with the microfiber. You're gonna be able to see what you hit and what you didn't. So like in some spots right here, I wasn't able to even get the paint, so I'm gonna go over it one more time. But this kind of gives you a good idea of what you've hit and what you've scuffed. And again, keep in mind, the whole point to this process is you're just scuffing the clear coat finish that's on top of this particular rooftop tent, the Tuff Stuff Overland Alpha 2. Hard to get around these little grooves right here. I recommend just using a piece of the sandpaper and just going over it. What I mean is kind of just taking a little piece, a scrap piece, and just going over the edge that you've already hit, that maybe you didn't get all the way. You're gonna have to make your own decision and kind of judge how far you want to scuff it up yourself. I think that that's kind of like gonna be a personal preference. For me, I'm just doing it enough where I can see that the clear coat has been broken into. I've had to do this over about 3 days and from start to finish because I am working right now. So for somebody that's just dedicated and has a full day, I think that you could probably knock this entire thing out in one day. But for me, realistically, it just wasn't possible. Now this sander is a 5-inch sander with a 5-inch head. So it's the hook and loop. I ended up getting the Diablo. I think it's like a 13 pack. It's like 10 bucks at Home Depot. I've went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 or 6 of these because I had to get into the crevice. I'd say the roof is probably the hardest part. And when you're sanding, because it's, you know, so compressed in small little areas. But yeah, I think you should be able to do it with 1 pack of sandpaper. All right, good morning friends. So it's the next day. I've already went ahead and got up early today and washed this thing, wiped it down, let it sit while I went on a walk with my dog. So it's been sitting for a good 45 minutes. So I feel like it's right in the point where it's kind of dry. So I'm gonna get ready and I'm gonna start masking everything down. The parts that I want to mask, which the Tuff Stuff Overland emblem in the back and the Tuff Stuff Overland emblem in the front, as well as the brackets. There's a guy that did a video as well on here I believe it was a Tuff Stuff Overland Alpha 1. He didn't actually do all this around. I've done the entire thing, and the reason being is because if you go to my previous video and the thumbnail says this tent sucks, is it talks about all the problems that these things have, and one of them being the sides right here are known to crack. And so that's why I've sanded everything down, and I'm going to spray the entire rooftop tent with the Raptor liner. So other than that, let's get started with masking this and get to the next process of spraying everything down.
I go straight from the bank, gassing up the tank, cranking up the radio, playing old Hank, and it ain't that long till I'm back at the pond. I'm pulling up the truck down at the dock. It's time to...
Alright guys, so the kit I got came with 2 promoters and 4 black 2K Raptor liner, bed liner sprays. You guys can get this too. I just purchased it on Amazon. I think it was like 150 bucks to 200, something like that, but well worth it. So let's get started. First one we're going to do is we're going to go over the entire tent with the promoter, and this promoter is specifically designed, whether you get the Raptor liner or this one came with this kit, it does the same thing. This promoter sticks to plastic and helps the Raptor liner stick to the plastic as well, so you don't have any issues of the flaking or anything like that. I'm just going to give these a good shake. I was actually going to do this yesterday, but I'm waiting till this morning because it was super windy yesterday, and today it's nice and humid, hot, so this is going to help stick to it a lot better. Remember, I've never done this before, so you're learning with me. So if I have some problems on this, it's because I'm a noob. Look at that, it goes on super easy. So it said it recommends 1 to 2 coats and waiting 10 to 20 minutes between coats.
Some cruising, baby, get a little stuck. It's a Saturday joyride. First at Feast is the spot to take the blues away. We're on a boat, we're feeling fine. Drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky. We're going up, we're coming down.
Alright, so I've waited about 20 minutes. I've used an entire bottle of the promoter already. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and use the second one. I don't really think it needs a full 2 bottles, but because it's the plastic and it's my hardshell rooftop tent, and crap, I already spent, what, 150 bucks on this? I'm not going to take the chance of any type of flaking or anything like that, so I'm going to go ahead and spray another entire full bottle of this. So it also recommends that you spray this anywhere from 12 inches to 6 inches away.
Party on the water, it's a hell of a time. We're on the boat, we're killing time. In our own honky tonk with a bottle of wine. We're going up, we're coming down. Cheers to feeling alright, it's a hell of a time. A hell of a time. Yeah, we're chilling out here.
Alright guys, I'm at the final step now to start Raptor lining everything. Again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, make sure if you're going to do this that you use the high quality version of a bed liner spray, and that is the Raptor Liner 2K. This just has a lot more UV protection when it comes to being in the sunlight, being in the harsh conditions, and it's just a better product overall. Now also it says that you want to shake these for a good 2 minutes on one side up and then the other side down. Do that actually twice for up to 2 minutes apiece. So I've already done that, so now we're gonna start painting. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is that you need to spray the Raptor liner 24 to 36 inches and wait 20 minutes between coats.
Ladies in the rear, her feet in the water, her top disappears, drinking Malibu Patron or a beer in a cup. We all get to dance and I get to chancing, kissing that country girl, romancing a whole lot of love, bumping out of the
This part is gonna be tricky because I did not tape off any of this.
bars. Yeah, we're on a boat, we're feeling fine, drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky. We're going up, we're coming down. Here's the feeling, alright, it's a hell of a time. We're on a boat, we're killing time, in our own honky tonk, meet the big blue sky. We live it up, we got it down. Here's the feeling,
All right, we're back. So it's been another 20 minutes, 25 minutes or so. So now I'm gonna try to do 3 cans, but I might need to do the full 4 because I need to do the roof again. And I'm trying to just go around the whole side right now. I'm using a little stick to kind of lift these things up.
For a small town girl, so kiss me, darling, rock my world, rock my world.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do 4 cans because I need to do the roof again, and that's the end of the 3rd can. So I got some overspray on the roof rack, but I don't really care about that. It's not that big of a deal to me. And there's a little bit, you know, obviously you can see on the bottom, but I don't really care about that. For the most part, just looking at this right now, like, I think it's a freaking awesome product, and just using the promoter, and it looks awesome already, guys. Super awesome. Super happy with the results just looking at it. Final Raptor liner can. I'm gonna spray the roof one more time. And I've done everything else around underneath, so let's finish this up. One thing I didn't mention on this, once you press this, the can is activated. So you can't store it after this. You need to use every can. So if you're not gonna use a can, don't even press the button.
Yeah, now it's a hell. We're on the boat, we're feeling fine.
Alright, so I'm all done spraying. I'm gonna let this dry for a while, probably a couple hours. I'll come out here, untape everything. I will give you guys my final thoughts, so see you then. It's been a few hours. I've already put my Tuff Stuff Overland awning back on. I think this turned out amazing considering I've never done this before on my rooftop tent. Considering the factors on why I did this with the heat out here, and I didn't want to risk having any imperfections happen, whether that's chipping of the clear coat off these things, whether that, you know, the sides cracking. Doing this Raptor liner on the rooftop tent was simply to help protect my investment. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give the Raptor liner a solid 10. It's an amazing product and I highly recommend it. I will leave a link in the video's description below if that's something that you're interested in doing as well. Now, I do have to tell you that that does help me out a little bit. It doesn't really do anything for you. If you click it and you buy it, I get a small commission from that. Thank you guys. I will end this off on some B-roll. You guys just getting some shots of this. Other than that, thank you guys. Make sure that if you like these videos on dog adventures and camping, that you hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky, we're going up, we're coming